is to take these lessons seriously, is to put a lot of effort in understanding this book and put effort into trying to retain the information. Those of you who are Arabic readers and speakers perhaps as well, I would advise that you memorize the book. The book is what? It's all it is, you're going to see it later on. It's just every single chapter it will say so-and-so chapter. The chapter of whatever. And then he's going to mention verses of the Qur'an one by one and ahadith and athar. He's going to say, for example, Kitab al-Tawheed, وَقَوْلُهُ تَعَالَى وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ وقوله تعالى ولقد بعثنا في كل أمة رسولا أن يعبدوا الله واجتنبوا الطاغوت وقوله تعالى واعبدوا الله ولا تشركوا به شيئا وقوله تعالى قل تعالوا أتل ما حرم عليكم وقوله تعالى من أراد أن ينظر إلى وصية محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. That's what he's going to say. وقوله تعالى verse وقوله تعالى آية وقوله تعالى حديث وقوله تعالى أثر. The way we're going to do it is in total it's 66 chapters. What we are going to do is make the lesson 2 times a week. 2 days a week. This week will just be one lesson, inshallah. Next week, perhaps as well, just one lesson. But I want you all to try and put an effort in making it 2 days a week, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. We'll choose the date together because, of course, it wasn't announced like that. But in that way, we're going to be able to finish it in time over the next 2.5 months. And we're going to finish it with good understanding. And we're not going to do too much in one go. So if we have 2 lessons a week, we're going to do over the next 2.5 to 3 months, 2 chapters each lesson. So every lesson will come, we're going to do 2 chapters. The next lesson, 2 chapters, and within that time, inshallah ta'ala, we should finish it. Last thing is, anyone who wants to specifically look at the sharh, the best sharh that I'm mainly going to be depending on is the sharh of Salih al-Usaymi, hafidhahullah ta'ala. It's one of the best shuruh. What I have in front of me is the explanation of my teacher, Sheikh Abdullah al-Barbarawi, who's alive as well. What he did was, he done ta'liq, he done comments on that book, but he also went into 7 or 8 other explanations and then made them into his own explanation. I'm going to use that one, so there might be things that I will say that are not necessarily in your, inshallah ta'ala, explanation of Salih al-Usaymi. So today will be an introduction and then we're going to do the first chapter. So it will be an introduction and then we're going to do the first chapter of the book, inshaAllah ta'ala. So the introduction is as follows. I'm going to mention 7 points as an introduction. The first one is some of the explanations of this book. Before we come on to the author, his name and his short history of himself, his biography, and how the book is written, the first thing is, and you'll know why I do this, I'm going to talk about some of the shuruhat, the explanations of this book. And the reason I'm going to mention it is because the explanations that I mentioned to you now, I'm going to mention that in this explanation so-and-so says this as a reference. So before I go into it, I want you all to be familiar with it. I don't want to later on next week say, Abdurrahman ibn Hassan says in Fathul Majid, X, Y, and Z. And then you'll be like, what on earth is Fathul Majid? But if I tell you now and give you an introduction, you'll know that it's just one of the explanations of the book. And I'm also going to tell you the authors of these books so you know who you're speaking about. For example, the Shaykh, he has 2 grandchildren who wrote explanations of it. They took that knowledge from him directly as well. So when I say they said this, you'll know who I'm talking about. So inshallah ta'ala, the first one is Taysirul Aziz, or just say Taysir. That's enough in fact. Taysir. Just a quick question, can you put your hand up if you know Arabic? The reason why I'm saying this is, it helps me tailor the lesson to the audience. Sah? So I need to know who knows Arabic, who can read fluently and stuff like that. So don't worry, inshallah. It's nothing to be ashamed about, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. It will help me tailor the lesson in a way which is the most understandable, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. I might use less Arabic, I might use less references, less complicated terms, so you really understand it, inshallah. So put your hand up if you know the Arabic language. Good. Put your hand up if you can read Arabic fluently. So you don't know, you can't understand it, but you can read, for example, the Qur'an. Okay, alhamdulillah. Put your hand up if you've studied this book before. Put your hand up if you have studied any of Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab's books before. Okay. Lastly, put your hand up if you've memorized the Qur'an. Jameel. Okay. طيب, inshallah. Sounds good. The first one is Taysir. The book is called Taysir. The book is called